We out here staying connected with Lex, trying to find a couple spots. The ducks is freaking her out a little bit. Plus, this is a little swamp, ain't it? But it's all right, a good spot. What's happening? How you been?
Fabulous.
Since the last time I seen you.
I'm fabulous.
Yeah, I like them kicks. Let me see what you're working with. Check her drip out. I see you.
I got it for Mother's Day.
Buckeye City. So how's things been going with you since last time we talked, man? How your mental health been, man?
My mental health was cool.
Because the weather getting good, you're running across people, you're doing more things. You been all right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know what I wanted to ask you the last time I talked? We're going to get into a few things and a few questions, but I wanted to ask you the last time I talked to you, how do you band-aid that outside of medication? How do you band-aid your mental? What's your substance choice?
I smoke weed.
You smoke weed, alcohol?
Alcohol, but alcohol is not a problem. If we were going to put a problem on it, I smoke a lot of weed.
Smoke a lot of weed. Well, we're going to put a problem on it. I just want to know.
Not a problem.
I just want to know what else you did besides the medication because.
I take Prozac for anxiety and depression.
Okay.
And some other that's health reasons.
That's all right.
And I smoke weed all day.
How long you been taking your medication?
I've recently noticed that my mental health was a problem probably 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So
Since about that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, outside of taking your medication, I know you know how to handle your business. What happened in your life, man, that made you feel like, damn, I really need to stay up on top of my mental? Because maybe you've been through something. I know you had, your kids at a young age. You told me about that. In a shared parenting home that you had with the stepmother, and your father. And I get that. And I know you worked through that. But you've been in a few relationships. You had close friends. You scared of that duck?
No.
I don't know if you had any legal encounters, but what happened to you that made you say, let me buckle down and tighten up on me?
So, I would say everything, I don't know how it is for everybody else, but everything just built up, you know? So my parents were young when my mom was young. She was 16 when she had me.
Mm-hmm.
They split up when I was 7. I also met my stepmom. It was like a 3-month period of a lot of stuff. I got a new brother and sister. My parents aren't together anymore, and I got a new lady in my life.
Okay.
My parents were married. They've been married up until about 2020.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's just a combination of just life. And then hitting 20, so I'll be 30 next month. So hitting about 27, 26, 27, I got in my first real relationship.
Okay.
And
Was that toxic? Or was it just love and infatuation? Because you was young, right?
27,
20.
26.
Well, that was your first real life?
I would say that meant something. I was focused on being a mom.
Right.
So I wasn't really looking for a relationship.
So he came when the family was really already set up.
He came when it was just me and Lil Head.
Right.
So,
there you go. Okay. So was it toxic?
I feel like, and this is not to throw any shade, but
Sorry.
I feel like my light just shined brighter than his, and we came from 2 different backgrounds. So I feel like, in a sense, even if he was absent-minded about it, I feel like he was jealous of me. So the good he would try to make bad. And then he had a baby on me, and that's just
So right when you start getting yourself together, thought you had...
Right when I was at, right getting where I needed to be in life.
Not only he did that, he hit you with a monkey wrench.
But that didn't even bring on the mental health. I left. He got somebody pregnant, and I was just like, oh no, you need this space.
Yeah.
You need this. I don't need this. You need this space. So I went from having what I needed to not having because I'm not staying. I'm not.
Right. How'd you handle that? How long was y'all together?
It sounds short, but being 26, 27,
Right.
it was a long time for me. So we were
So
together
how long?
for almost 2 years.
Okay. So you felt like you was losing something, or you was easy to let go? I mean,
I felt like I lost myself. And I had already built my life up as far as my own place, my own car, everything. So when I left that relationship, I left with nothing because you trust you. You're supposed to.
so what you do with all your stuff? You took it, or you just
I
lost
took
it?
what I could.
Did you get evicted somewhere or something?
We were living together, and I left him
Okay.
on Christmas.
Strong
Day after
ass
Christmas.
choice.
Yeah, I'm not because.
You know how much of a soldier that is in you, that to be able to do that at your age,
Yeah.
to be able to get up and leave.
Yeah, it was no question.
And you caught it just in time.
So it took me about like a month in. I already know bullshit. I seen the signs.
Okay.
Okay, I seen the signs. Not early on, but close that like last 3 months. I seen what was going on, and I just was like,
Ignored it.
no, I wasn't ignoring him, but in my mind, I'm like, all right, my wheels was turning. I gotta get up out of here.
Right, right. You was playing it quietly.
Yeah. So Christmas came, and his family life is not like my family life, and I come from love. I come from every holiday, Juneteenth. We kicking it tomorrow. Like we celebrate life.
Right.
So and my ex, he did not celebrate life. That man was damaged.
Right.
And I'm not damaged.
So
like,
what type of stuff outside of cheating and having a baby?
didn't matter.
What did he put you through? Well,
So what he put me so
I say
feel
that
like
because the way you talk is like you smell bullshit coming now.
I smelled it. So when we first got together, we were in my own crib, and then we moved. He paid some moving expenses, and then we went half on the bills. And it just kept being any minor disagreement. You want chicken, I want beef type disagreement. It would become, he would make it, and I'm just not a confrontational person. I want to know what's wrong.
Right.
How can we fix this? I live in a life of peace.
Right.
So
You think sharing space made it worse?
I think that I don't feel like that because, again, I live in peace. So I feel like he was used to confrontation. He was used to things not being okay because we're cool now.
Yeah.
You know, we cool now. So
Because y'all don't see each other every day.
exactly. So he was like it's he's like I didn't grow up in that. So if there's an issue, there's a real issue. I didn't grow up that. So I just think that when people like the saying opposites attract.
But you know how beautiful it is to see toxic signs in the beginning?
Yeah.
If you pay attention to that, it's something you ain't got to wait for nobody to tell you that lie. You already know this is a person. Some
Yeah.
people just move in toxicity.
I knew it.
You understand what I'm saying? That's their space.
I knew it was up. So
Right.
but by the time we got into where the toxicity really started to show its face, I had already given my independence to this man. Women are supposed to be submissive.
Yeah.
In a sense, we're supposed to be submissive. A man, regardless how y'all feel, how anybody feel, a man is supposed to be a provider.
Right.
If he falls,
Okay.
I'm supposed to be able to, pick up the slack. But at the end of the day, biblically, life-wise, men were made different than women. So a man is supposed to be a provider. And when it came out of my name into his name,
Changed the game.
it changed the game.
Yeah. He had a little power, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand, and I just understood that. I understood that. So when I left him, I wasn't upset. I was more disappointed in myself. Because, like, Lex, you know better. You know better. And I feel like me having to start over in a sense, I'm talking about clothes for me, clothes for my kid. Like, I left with what I could pack in my homegirl car.
Right. You didn't even have a car at the time.
Because my car was, you know what I'm saying? dude came in with his best foot forward. Like I ain't never had a man just do.
Right. Just try to walk over you
He
like
just
that.
No, not even in the beginning. He just did like things that I never had to ask.
He did all that, but
like calling AP, paying my bill up, paying my rent. Until when I would go to pay my rent, they'd be like, "It's been paid for 3 months." I'm like, "By whom?" Because I know y'all didn't go to my account, so it was different for me. I can't even lie, it's different for me. That was different, and my kid was already 7, 8.
made you feel like you had it.
Yeah, so I'm going over and beyond. I'm
And he
talking
straight
about
shifted gears.
breakfast, lunch, dinner. I'm still working. I'm working from home, making a good money, good job. But I feel like when we went from my crib to a crib that we got through his people, shit shifted. And when he told me he had a baby, I was just like, I'm not having no more kids. Period. Like there's
You wasn't
no.
gonna ride
I don't
with it, huh?
care. Yeah, so I was just like, you need this house.
I think you did the best thing by getting out.
Yeah.
Because while you was young, you built a machine in yourself not to deal with it. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it makes you smell BS coming now when you're dealing with these brothers.
Absolutely.
Because you're going to get the attention. And like you said, you outside. You know what I mean? You're doing your thing. But just knowing what BS look like. Knowing what it look like when a brother's on some dope, substance abuse, on some bullshit.
So I won't go with it. But I felt like it was this. I'm like, this can't be how your mind thinks. This not the man that I love. This not the man that you doing something different. And then again, his routine changed. When we moved in, his routine changed. So I just was already keen on what the fuck was going on. Plus, my dad, I was ready, like I said, I was ready by man, so my shit, I was already on shit.
So you had a heads up.
Yeah, my depression and anxiety, even through all the shit I did, as far as, I've always been in a 2-parent household, but the shit with my parents probably did mess me up a little bit. But giving my independence to that man for 2 years, it was, and then jumping back in, I had to move back in with my parents. I had to build my credit back up. I had to buy a new car. I had to do a lot.
Right. How'd they take that though?
My parents.
Yeah, how'd they take it? What was the type of stuff you dealt with them? Because you hear it when you got to go back home.
My dad was like, in the beginning, I felt like my dad kind of blamed me for not dealing with it.
Mm-hmm.
My stepmom,
What do you mean not dealing with it? Like staying in there to deal with it?
Yeah.
He wanted you to fight?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like now that I went through therapy and stuff, I know that it was probably not the best way to voice that, but I know that it was more so like, I don't want you to be single for the rest of your life.
Do you regret that?
No.
Okay. Because you ain't gonna be single. There's somebody out there for you.
Yeah.
He know that too.
And in the beginning, when I first moved back to my parents' house, I felt like my dad, like, I felt like he was calling me soft, like.
Yeah.
But.
How'd your stepmom take it?
Like a woman.
Huh?
Like a regular.
She
woman.
understood.
She felt where I was coming from, but past things, they got their own situation. She was like I feel like she was proud of me, but I also felt like I don't feel like I can't say like my dad was like, you should have dealt with it, but he was more so like, you reaching up there, you my oldest, like, I ain't been to a wedding of my kids.
Did anybody say that they think you would go back?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's been that was 2020, it's been about 5 years, so. But me and him are good. He's a good person. He went and got healed himself. He went and healed himself.
So you slowing down on dating right now, right? Working on you. You getting that back again?
So I would say that about 3, 4 months after I left him, I got my own spot. I was able to get back on right. I got a good job. I was able to get back on. But that time after, like the high of getting back on track, brought me a low. Yeah. And I wasn't able to do nothing. I wasn't eating. I lost hella weight. I was still a good mom, but my daughter was spending more time with her father rather than our usual arrangement. Mm-hmm. And I just noticed that it was an issue. I got to almost 200 pounds.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
really?
I'm like, whoa.
You was going in, wasn't you?
I was just laying around.
It really affected you.
I was working from it. The relation, and I can't.
Was you on
say,
your medication then?
No.
You wasn't?
So the relationship didn't affect me. It was the starting over. That I went from 18 to 26 on my own, doing my thing, like
Soldier.
you know.
Yeah.
And then I let my guard down
For a man.
For a man, and now I'm not able to leave this relationship the same way I came in.
Sure. That's right.
So it was
You lost a part of you for a moment.
It was an ego dropper for real. So I noticed that, and I used to smoke cigarettes heavy. I'm talking about.
You stopped smoking cigarettes?
I started smoking cigarettes in August.
Congratulations.
So I was smoking cigarettes. So I'm talking about I was stressed the fuck out.
That'll do it. Eating, smoking.
And I noticed. So when I went to my annual physical, they told me I was like 197, and I'm like,
can't do it, huh?
No. And then I went, and so my doctor, we got a little bit more intimate, and I told him, like, I'm fucking sad. Like, I'm sad, I'm disappointed in myself. Everything makes me nervous. I'm on edge all the time. Like, so this is my second medication. The first medication, I don't feel like it did anything. I felt like it made me have just like badass dreams.
Yeah.
So now that I'm on this medication, I feel like I don't need it now, but I don't go to the doctor until August.
Do you
and then on top of therapy, that shit help. Like,
does it?
You get to talk it out
talk
to
a
somebody.
woman.
And then, like, I feel like I'm the person that people come and talk to. So, who you talk to? When you that one?
Was your therapist a woman?
Yes.
Would you recommend a woman therapist to another woman?
No.
No?
I went through like 4.
Okay.
But
is it because you think that she was thinking like she thinks and not thinking for you, or what?
I feel like she was biased. I don't feel like she really. The first 2 were women. The third one was a man, and then I got my homegirl now. I felt like they were not thinking in a therapist way. It was biased. This one, I liked her office, the
space. Yeah, scenery, all that plays a role.
Like, I felt like with the other ones, it was an interview. But
she made you feel comfortable.
Yeah, it was just like, so how was your day? So I've been with her for like a year.
So right now we're working our way into Juneteenth. Are you sad? Are you happy? Or are you just content?
I'm happy.
Right? That's good.
I worked through my mental illness.
I want you to stay in that space.
Yeah.
Every time I see you in that space, man, I believe you. Because, I read body language. Words is words. Some people just talk because they got a hole in their face. And your language shows that you are at peace. Don't let none of these suckers get you. That kiss on the neck is a motherfucker.
Don't kiss.
Yeah. It's something. It'll have you doing things you don't want to do before you want to do it.
And so I feel like I just learned my lesson the first time. So.
Are you taking your medication daily or?
Yes.
On top of it, man.
I just learned my lesson the first time. But I feel like with that relationship, that brought on all the other issues that I had from my parents, just growing up by myself. I felt like that is really what put me in a funk, because before that relationship, I was trying to prove something. Like, I'm not my mama.
You're trying to prove that.
I'm not my mama.
Yeah.
I'm not my mama. I'm going to take care of me.
Yeah.
Period. I'm going to take care of me.
You're not her.
And I'm going to take care of what I produce. So letting go of that was like...
Did you prove that to everybody? That you're not your mother? You Lex?
Yeah.
You still
but
proving, right?
the goal changed. I'm not trying to outdo my mom.
Yeah.
She did the best she could.
There you go. I like that.
She did the best. I couldn't imagine having a kid at 16.
Yeah.
And I had one at 18. So
yeah, because you don't get back then. You don't get to go to the movies. You got to wait for DVD.
Yeah.
You don't get to go. You got to watch your kid.
Right. So I feel like, and not just going through therapy. And therapy is just somebody hearing you talk.
Yeah.
And giving you an alternate,
listening to you,
perception of what you thought was going on, but really what is going on. So that people live nowadays. People live life in delusion.
Well, Lex, I hope that I can give you that, and I can listen to you, be a good ear for you, and make sure I give you good advice and stay consistent. And I'm a male, so I hope that that works for you along with this process. We're gonna talk about the next time we talk. We're gonna talk about what you was talking about, what you went through with the family, your parents. We'll do that another time. But tonight, I appreciate you. I do. You want to say something and give some shout outs to some of these young girls, man, that may be sitting home, thinking about not taking her medicine. Let's say that.
Ladies, even because I've been on and off of my medicine. Like, I get it, because, like, I don't need that shit. But if that's not working, go speak to somebody. And you might go through hella therapists until you feel. But the right person went to school for this reason. So
Yeah.
shop around. But talking to somebody that don't have no biased opinion, especially when you the person that everybody's into, talking to somebody and getting that shit out, that's all you need.
We like that. Y'all heard that from Lex. We out here staying connected. Let's go.